for Jamaicans of like mind in Jamaica. Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home. Both sides of the story.
Look like Mr. Malcolm, big son, sir.
How you doing?
There, no, bro. Everything good? Oh, you did? Oh, you're that? All right, cool.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So, I know say sometimes when I might not have somebody just have to double check.
True. That is a good thing.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
See you on a talk phone separate then.
Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Our email address is bothsides106@live.com. And you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or look us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Classes in session. Hour 106.
Take heed of this small child of earth. He is great. He has in him God Most High. Children before their fleshly birth are lights alive in the blue sky. In our brief, bitter world of wrong they come. God gives us them a while. His speech is in their stammering tongue, and his forgiveness in their smile. Their sweet light rests upon our eyes. Alas, their right to joy is plain. If they're hungry, paradise weeps, and if cold, heaven thrills with pain. The want that saps their sinless flower speaks judgment on sin's ministers. Man holds an angel in his power. Ah, deep in heaven, what thunder stirs when God seeks out these tender things, whom in the shadow where we keep, he sends them clothed about with wings, and finds them ragged babes that weep.
Dear Mr. Jesus, I just had to write to you. Something really scared me when I saw it on the news. A story about a little girl beaten black and blue. Jesus, thought I'd take this right to you. Jesus, I don't understand why they took her mom and dad away. I know that they don't mean to hit with wild and angry hands. Tell them just how big they are, I pray. Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep us safe and warm? Dear Mr. Jesus, they say that she may die. Oh, we'll help the doctors stop the pain. I know that you could save her and take her up to the sky, so she will never have to hurt again. Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep us safe and warm? Dear Mr. Jesus, please tell me what to do. And please don't tell my daddy that my mommy hits me too. Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep us safe and warm? Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep us safe and warm?
2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 21st day of the 6th month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables. Put another way, it's the 21st day of the second month of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. In this Disaster Risk Reduction Month, Road Safety Awareness Month, Brides Month, and Pride Month. It's National Immigrant Heritage Month in the USA. Members of the Caribbean diaspora in America are celebrating National Caribbean American Heritage Month and Caribbean Cuisine Month. Still in the United States, June is being observed as Alzheimer's and Brain Cancer, Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, Cataract Awareness Month, Myasthenia Gravis Awareness Month, Aphasia Awareness Month, Congenital Cytomegalovirus Awareness Month, Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, National Safety Month, Scleroderma Awareness Month, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, PTSD Awareness Month, Scoliosis Awareness Month, and Men's Health Month. It's day of election of the first president in Turkmenistan, a national day in Greenland, Organic Act Day in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The White Nights Festival started in Russia. It's National Aboriginal Day in Canada and a National Music Day or la fête de la musique en France. Hoy es martes el 21 de junio 2022 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mardi le 21 juin 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Tuesday, the 21st of June, 2022, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Jesus, I don't understand why they took her mom and dad.
Good afternoon to those listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank those of you who have logged on to the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to Both Sides of the Story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. We thank those of you who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. If you're in the US and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, please call 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. And if you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 876, I beg your pardon. Let's do that again. You can call 0330 606 0953. More in a moment.
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy code 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
You don't need a special place, active. Bedroom, living room, work office. Move after every hour sitting. You don't need the gym to do your thing. You want to feel good, move at least 30 minutes a day. 60 minutes if you want to lose weight. Jamaican people make we start moving because we want long life. Where we want long life. Where we want long life. Where we want long life. Move at least 30 minutes a day.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Infini Gelato, the home of Italian ice cream, freshly made on location. Come experience a variety of unique flavors. Try our delicious gourmet pizzas, bubble waffles, and more. Infini Gelato, Shop 17, Sunshine Outlet Mall, Brayton Parkway, Portmore. 876-893-1307. Infini Gelato, the home of Italian ice cream. Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Colonel Charles Jr. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play with its development. That's a Morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM.
Pretty straightforward once you know.
Jesus, I just had to write to you. Something really scared me when I saw it on the news. A story about a little girl beaten black and blue. Jesus, thought I'd take this right to you.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Welcome to those of you watching us on Facebook Live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat. There's always YouTube. You don't need to have an account to access YouTube. All you need is a smart device or a not so smart device, smartphone, tablet, computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. And you'll be able to watch both sides of the story. What's on your mind this afternoon? The lines are open, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us via WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. From time to time on this program, you would hear us talk about trauma and how traumatized our people are and have been. The trauma continues. The trauma continues. The online Gleaner, in its updated story, says Prime Minister Andrew Holness has described the killing of a mother and her children at their house in Clarendon as gruesome and horrific. He argued that the murder of this family reflects the epidemic of interpersonal violence that bedevils the society. If you missed this most tragic story in terms of exactly what happened. The Gleaner earlier this morning reported that a Clarendon mother and her 4 children had been found dead in the community of New Road near Chapelton. The police say the bodies were found with their throats slashed. A huge crowd gathered at the scene. That's the major tragedy that occurred this morning here in Jamaica. And there are different updated stories on this matter. The police have named 23-year-old Roshane Barnett, otherwise called Jet or Nick, as a person of interest in the murder of a mother and her 4 children in Clarendon. The police say Barnett is a cousin of the woman. The throats of the mother and her children were slashed. Barnett is being asked to surrender immediately. He is said to frequent Cocoa Peace in Clarendon, Wilson Run in Trelawney, and Papine in St. Andrew. The age cohort in terms of the children who were brutally murdered is even more shocking, if we could say that. The deceased mother was 34 years old, Kimberly Wright, and her 4 children were Kimana Smith, who was 15, Shamari Smith, 10, Kafana Smith, 5, and a 23-month-old Keyshawn Henry. Not even, oh boy. It is an act of savagery and brutality of unequal proportions, says the National Security Minister. These are young, promising children with their lives ahead of them. What a tragedy. What a tragedy.
Please don't tell my daddy that my mommy hates me too. Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Keep us safe and warm.
Our sincerest condolences to the family of the deceased, both mother and children. What a tragedy. And this tragedy dominates the stories the list of stories on the Gleaner's website, though there is, for what it's worth, another story of worker unrest. Apparently, there is worker unrest at the Transport Authority in St. Andrew, as staff members are upset over the reported departure of Managing Director Willard Hilton. No MD, no work, protesting employees shouted. Edgerton Newman, head of the Transport Lobby Group, Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, who was on site, described the departure of the managing director as a sad day. He apparently turned in his resignation, which will take effect on the 30th of June. But it's believed that he was forced out by, in inverted commas, internal staff. And the story goes on. So those are the two stories being reported on by the Gleaner. We thank those of you who have joined us online, like Valerie Thompson. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Neriga Smart Morgan 7 says, greetings to you, Sir Malcolm, and listeners. A blessed Tuesday afternoon to you all. Oh, wow. It is a sad day today here in Jamaica with the killing of a mother and her 4 children. Oh, wow. As I watched the video with the mother of the deceased crying and saying it is her one and only child, I cried too as well. Oh, wow. I'm typing this and still crying. Oh, wow. My heart aches. So sad. Let us all keep those who are grieving in our prayers. Shalom, says Neriga Smart Morgan 7. Sophia Nemad, good afternoon to you. One and only girl, I should say, says Neriga Smart Morgan 7. Sharon Richards says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm, and to all listeners out there sitting in class. Lots of blessings to you. To you too, Sharon Richards. Winsome Parks, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us, and all the very best. Good afternoon to James Morgan, who says, it is so sad. Oh my God, with tears in my with tears in my eyes, texting you. What is wrong with people? So sad. I'm praying for the family. Sherry Henry says, good day, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Blessings. She says, sad news about the mother and her 4 children. Once again, condolences. Such is the nature of man. Sadly, as we always say on this program, man must be protected from himself. Left to himself, man is perhaps the most destructive creature on the face of the planet. And it doesn't matter who the guy is, as Bob Marley would say. It really doesn't matter. Man can lose it at any time, it seems. Man can lose it at any time. And we have to take a greater interest. We have to take a greater interest in our family members, friends, colleagues, to be able to detect anything odd about their behavior, which would give us a clue and prepare us to intervene and to head off something tragic. It's a Tuesday afternoon, but because we shifted Land Solutions from yesterday to facilitate World Productivity Day broadcast from Terra Nova Hotel, we're going to have Land Solutions this afternoon. Stand by.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Your taxes hold the key.
Property owners, property taxes for year 2022-2023 are due. Payments can be made in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. So many ways to pay. You choose. Online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the THA mobile app, mobile tax collection unit, and NCB online banking. Call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357 or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details.
Gen Zers, we're back! Gen Z returns with a new look, fresh faces, hot topics, and a whole new vibe. We're talking finance, dating, dancehall. You think it? We discuss it. You don't want to miss it. So join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. on Power 106 FM and 6:30 p.m. on TVJ. Gen Z, a show for the youths, by the youths.
Farmers, farm store owners, Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited has all the answers for your farming needs. Tune in every Wednesday during Farm Talk for the feature Farming Today, as we educate you on how to farm smarter. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, 2 East Ashenheim Road, Kingston.
exporters, importers, all stakeholders. Get the facts on Jamaica's Authorized Economic Operator, or AEO program, at the Jamaica Customs Agency's CCC online forum. Click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30, 2022, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Jamaica's AEO program, facilitating a safer and more effective supply chain, locally and globally. Log on for AEO requirements and benefits and clarify any misconceptions. So click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30 at 10:30 a.m. Register at jacustoms.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
It's Tuesday afternoon, just after 2:30, and time for a special edition, a special Tuesday edition of Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line for Land Solutions is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. That text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up. Call and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. They also have an office in Ocho Rios, St. Anne, and that office is shop number 6, and it's located upstairs the JN building. That's the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. And if you wish to call that office directly, that number is 876-974-6083. 876-974-6083. In fact, every Thursday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. at the Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown Findley and Company, there's a lawyer on duty. A lawyer is on duty every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. In a moment, it will be time for this special Tuesday edition of Land Solutions. Here's attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Land Solutions. And Dervan, I join with you in expressing, my shock and horror at that tragic story out of Clarendon. May God be merciful. Man to man is really so unjust. Really, really so unjust. I want to welcome my listeners on this sad day back to Land Solutions. As Dervan said, this is a special edition, a Tuesday edition. So maybe there are some persons who only get a chance to listen to radio on a Tuesday and might be hearing Land Solutions for the first time. Welcome. So any question you have about land ownership, and the number to call this afternoon are 922-411-224. 922-411-224. And the text line, you can send me a text message or WhatsApp message at 387-3183. 876-387-3183. And I want to talk a little bit about adding persons to your title. And I've said it before that when you are not sure, if you are not 110% sure that you want to add somebody to your title, make a will. Because I have seen persons who have come to say, I have added such and such a person to my title, now I want to take them off, and they are not agreeing. And sometimes I can add somebody to my title without them even knowing. Because if the child is a minor, they don't have to sign, so they don't have to know, or if there's no condition on the title, then the person we are adding does not even have to know because they don't have to sign. But if you need them to come off, then they have to sign. And I have situations, for example, where persons might say, I want to add a child to my title. The first question I'll ask is that your only child? And invariably I get no. What about the others? This one will take care of the others. And I say no. It does not work like that. Because if you add one child to the title as a joint tenant with you, when you pass, that child is going to be the only owner unless you set up a trust. There's a declaration of trust is done to say, hey, this child is to share with the others. So very, very careful. Because if you say, for example, you have confidence in your children and you will know what type of children they are. So you might add John to the title and say, John will take care of the others. And John probably will. But what happens is, soon after you pass on, John passes on. The property is going to go to John's spouse and children. And they might not have the same intention. So be careful. If you have more than one child, decide if you want this one alone to get it fine. But don't leave it to say this one will take care of the rest or this one will do what is right. Because that one might pass. That one might even pass before you. And the law says that, for example, if you make a will, and this is something that I discussed with some attorneys earlier this week, if you even make a will and will something to a child and the child dies before you, under the Wills Act, that child's share is to go to the children of that child. So even though the child dies before you, if it doesn't fail, it goes to the children of that child. So I'm saying to us this afternoon that think about, I encourage persons to add names to title as part of estate planning because the probate process is taking so long, or we're not making the will, so it takes so long to administer. So I encourage my listeners as best as possible to plan your estate. If you can give it to the children while you're alive, as I said, a warm gift. A warm gift is better than a cold gift. So give it when you're alive when your hands are warm, more than when you're dead. And it goes through probate. So I prefer the warm gifts, but be careful still. Because sometimes these warm gifts come to haunt us. I've spoken a few times about the lady in the east, out in the east, in Jamaica here, who transferred her property to her daughter as a part of the estate planning. And then the daughter turned around and gave her notice to leave the property. Which is why I always say to my listeners, when you come to me and say, I want to add children to my title, I say to the parents, take a life interest. So the property is yours for life and after death. So the interest of the children will only come in after you have died. And even when we do that, we do a disclaimer. We prepare a document for the children to sign to say, hey, if mama should decide to sell the property or daddy, then they can do whatever they want with the sale proceeds. Or if they decide to borrow money or to take out a mortgage, as we call it, then they can do whatever they want. Because when you take a life interest in a property, and say to the grower Brown for life and after death to Peter and Paul. Peter and Paul might not have a vested interest right away, but your life interest is just for life. So if you go and sell the property, you're really just entitled to the life interest in the proceeds of sale. So the principal is supposed to be left for the children. So you have to be careful when you do all these things, even putting on the life interest. So what I'm saying to persons, think about it when you're going to add. If you come to me and say, hey, my one child, the child is taking care of me fine, and I still say take the life interest. But if you have more than one child, decide what you're going to do. If you want one child alone to get the property, and it's a question I always ask when persons go and say, I want to add the children. If you should pass on, is this the only child you want to get? And if I get a no, then I know that's not the only child that should be added. So these are some things you need to take into consideration in thinking about adding persons to your title. Another thing as well, sometimes older persons are buying property, especially persons who live abroad. And sometimes persons will tell them, especially out here in Jamaica, people I get it from persons all the time, to say, when I was buying the property, the lawyer said I mustn't buy it alone because if I buy it alone and I pass on, what going to happen? No. If you are buying the property, you are the only person putting your money, you can buy it alone. Sometimes you might be borrowing money and the bank might say you don't qualify. Ask if you can use a guarantor without a guarantor putting their name on the title. The children might guarantee the loan for you. Then their names don't usually have to go on the title. If the bank insists though that their names must go on the title, ask the lawyer to do a trust, because even when you put somebody on your title most of the time, you are the only one paying the money. They are just there on the title because you probably wanted there to facilitate the purchase. We see that a lot of time with the NHC benefits as well. When somebody might give you their benefit, and NHC I think is saying, if somebody gives you their benefit, their names don't have to go on your title. A title is an important document. Any decisions that you make in relation to your title will come to haunt you. So be very, very careful. I've seen so many instances where persons are, for example, you're buying a property and you put a brother or a sister name on it. And you want to sell and they're asking you for their half of whatever, even though they have never paid $1. And a lot of times we are very comfortable because things are going well when we're buying. And then some of these decisions come to haunt us. So what am I saying to my listeners this afternoon? I'm saying when you're acquiring property, or if you have acquired property already and you want to do a part of your estate planning, you want to plan what should happen if you should pass, think about it. You're buying property for the first time, think about who you're going to put on it. If you have a child who is under 18 and you put that child on the property, no bank is going to lend you money. Or the title office is not going to allow you to sell the property if you put a minor on it. Unless you have something we call a reservation clause, and this is something as well that you could discuss with your attorney. Because when persons come into my office and they insist I'm going to put my 2-year-old on it, and I said not a good idea, and they say I want the child on it, I put on the child, but I put a reservation clause. So I transfer the title to Gloria Brown and Luke Brown, and I put that Luke is 5 years old, and you put a clause to say reserving unto Gloria during the infancy of Luke the right to deal with the title under the Registration of Titles Act as if she were the sole owner. So I could sell it without Luke's permission, I could borrow money without Luke's permission. But no, our lending institutions as well are very conservative. And even though you have the reservation clause, most of them will not lend you money if there's a minor because they're afraid what will happen. Suppose they don't pay back the loan and they have to sell the property. They are afraid when the minor reaches age 18, the minor might come and bring an action against the bank. So those are a lot of things that persons consider. That person must consider when you're thinking about putting children on your title. And another thing as well is that when you put minors on your title, they might not be able to access an NHC benefit later on. Not even minors, but children who have not yet got an NHC, or anybody who has not yet got an NHC benefit. it might affect them getting a full benefit later on. Because the NHC was really there for first-time home owners. And when you go in to get a mortgage from the NHC, the first thing they'll ask is your name on the title, do you own property already? And you could run into problems because they might say you own property already, we can't give you a full benefit. I know we're up on a break now. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. National Irrigation Commission customers, you can now pay your bills online using your Visa credit card, MasterCard, or NCB key card by visiting the website www.nicjamaica.com. Select Pay Your Bill option, then follow the instructions, or visit any one of their office locations and pay using your debit card. The National Irrigation Commission Limited, irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
It's a special Tuesday edition of Land Solutions here during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, which means you can send your text messages and your WhatsApp messages. And that number is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. If you wish to get in touch with the law firm Brown, Findley and Company, they're located in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. If you want to dial the number for the Ocho Rios office, that number is 876-974-6083. 876-974-6083. A lawyer is on duty at the Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown, Findley and Company every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. In a moment, once again, let's hear more from attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Welcome back, listeners, to Land Solutions. The number is to call 922-411-224, 922-411-224, and the text line is 387-3183, 387-3183. And just looking at the text message, and please remember you can send the message by WhatsApp as well, to 387-3183. But the number to call now, 922-411-224.
And we have a caller on standby.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. I want to congratulate you on the wonderful job you're doing. Hello?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I've been listening to this program for years now, or maybe more, and it's only a pity I wasn't listening earlier, because I found myself in some trouble after I heard the warning that we should be careful how we sell land. My problem is I've been selling a piece of land, and I have a title, and I've been selling a part of it. 2/3 belongs to me, and a third belongs to my niece. And I've been selling 975 square meters of mine. But where I go wrong, I collected some money little from the person, and now the person decided that he doesn't want back any money. He wants to finish the deal. So I decided, okay, I can't bother any court or anything. So I decided, okay, let me go ahead. So he said, I have a lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. So he said I should bring the title to his lawyer, and I bring the title to his lawyer. And up until now, I can't hear anything to go in and sign any deal or anything. You think I'm in any problem here with this title?
All right. No, well, I don't want title, no. But tell me a little bit now, though. What parish is it?
Manchester.
We have subdivision?
Yes, I have a subdivision diagram.
All right. So I don't want to keeping it up and so on. Did you have to put in a road?
Yeah, well, to be honest, Miss Brown, I tried to do that, but when I realized the cost, I had to pull back.
When did you start the sale with the? What year?
I cannot remember exactly, but I'm thinking it's about if I go back, it's about 3 years or 4 years ago now.
Recently, so you're gonna need the subdivision. But if the parish council say you have to put in a road, you're not gonna be able to get a title for that piece if you don't put in the infrastructure that they ask you for,
But they said to me, Miss Brown, my niece and I actually occupy the front area of the land. So when I took the subdivision paper to parish council a few years ago, somebody said to me that the only piece that would be able to, the two pieces at the front that we occupy, because I have a house on the piece I'm selling, and my niece have a house on hers. And the lady said the only two pieces that we'll be able to get title for is those two pieces.
Because they are on the front.
So you need a new road, and they actually somebody live in both houses.
All right. But so after you take out your piece and your niece's piece, is it everything else that you are selling?
Yes. No. What actually I'm selling the piece that I actually occupy now, because that would be the easier piece to sell for me.
All right. Understood. So what is preventing you then? Since they say you can get a title for that piece, what is preventing you from getting the title?
Well, my niece hold on to the title then because she said she was going to cut off first. But she cut off first the other day and gave me the title. So the guy called me back now and said, okay, he ready to finish the deal. I said, okay, I can't bother with the confusion and the courthouse business. So let me just, actually I make a deal that I actually lose, but I said, okay, let me finish and go ahead with it. But where I think I made a mistake, now I go ahead the other day, took the title to his lawyer's office, and then up until now, about 2-3 weeks now, I'm not hearing anything.
No, but that's not a very long time though, because the lawyer should be preparing the documents, so that's not very long. But what you need to do though, that is the person's lawyer.
Yes.
You need to go and get your own lawyer to prepare the documentation.
Okay.
Don't use the person's lawyer.
And what I want to know, the rest of money, I can sign a deal that, for instance, I would love to get some of the money now to maybe go ahead and purchase a little place so I can start building a better place for myself. But the lawyer said I've already gotten too much money.
Well, you should not have got any money until the transaction is completed. But what I really want to find out is what is taking the transaction so long now, why you can't be finished shortly. So what I'm going to ask you to do, give me a call tomorrow. Listen to the WhatsApp number I give, and let me talk a little bit more to you.
Okay, Mr. Brown.
Give me a call anytime after 10 tomorrow on 387-3183.
Repeat again from Miss Brown?
387-3183.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, please call me.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you too, sir. The number is to call 224-11224. And the text line 387-3183. And that's also the WhatsApp line as well, 387-3183. And remember, you can send me an email, gloria@landsolutions.ca.com, gloria@landsolutions.ca.com. So, what the gentleman was saying a while ago, what I encourage persons, do not enter into agreement to sell property unless you have counted the cost. Even the Bible tells you, so any man going to build a house must sit down and calculate the cost of building the house, lest he starts it and can't finish and people laugh. So it is saying to us, count the cost, because I've seen persons who have gone sold land and have lost their shirt. Because when you are selling property and you just say to a man, I'm selling you that piece for 1 million, you have not taken into consideration the lawyer's fee, the transfer tax, the stamp duty, the registration fee, the cost of the road, the light, the water, and all the other things. So you can't just say, hey, $1 million per lot when maybe the cost for infrastructure for each lot is $1 million. So that if you have made a gift. And I'm saying this to many persons outside of Jamaica who are listening as well, and enter into agreements to sell property. Be very, very careful. 15 million I saw in a lot.
We have another caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from Westmoreland.
Yes.
I bought a piece of land and I figure it 5 years ago. 5 to 6 years, going into 6 years now. And I never got a piece of paper to show that I figure it, but I get in contact with the man that figure it and he said I should pick up the paper. I need to pay my tax because what I find out, the man that I bought the land from, he died 5 years now. And when I check it out, no tax pay on the land, so I need to pay my tax.
All right, but is that the most important thing for you to pay the tax or to get a title?
I need the title.
Right, that's a title. Because when you get the title, then automatically you'll get to pay the tax. Because you're not going to be able to pay the tax right now if the person on the tax roll is dead.
Okay.
So what you need to do is to look about your title. And I'm going to ask you to send me a WhatsApp message. All the message has to say is title. Just send me a WhatsApp message that says title. To 3873183. And I will give you the guidance of how to go about getting a title.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Yes. And that applies to everybody else listening. If you don't have a title of land and you need a title, just send me a WhatsApp message. All you have to do is say title. Send it to 876-387-3183. And a text message, how long does it take to register a mortgage and a transfer of mortgage? I need a little bit more information when you mean register a title. So if you have a title already and you want to do a transfer plus a mortgage, the process can be long. I don't know if it has it gone through stamp office already. If it's the titles office alone, that will take about 7 days to 2 weeks. If it's just the registration at the titles office, it will take about 2 weeks. But if you have to go through stamp office and all the process, if that sale you're doing, a sale could take you 3 months, 4 months. Sometimes up to 6 months, depending on which institution the person borrowing from. So I need to get a little bit more information from you when you say to register, transfer, a mortgage. I need a little bit more information. The number is to call 922411325. I'm sorry, 922411224. And the text line is 387-3183.
Is that what it is?
Text
2 to 4?
387-3183. And remember, we have an office in Ocherios, and I'll be in Ocherios this Thursday. God being willing, I'll be in Ocherios this Thursday. And that's from 10 o'clock to 4. And I'll be in Ocherios this Thursday. I'll be in Ocherios this Thursday. Okay, I'll be in Ocherios between 10 and 1 o'clock, and that's the Jamaica National Building upstairs. But I'm begging my listeners, please call before you come in. Call my office in Kingston, 908-1950, or the Ocherios office, 974-9083, to make an appointment before you come in, so we can tell you what to take. Because a lot of times clients come from as far as Westmoreland, St. James, and when you come, you have really wasted the visit, because I could have told you, do not come until you have XYZ. The survey diagram and the different things that we need in order to help you to get the title. Which is why I say if you send me a message now and just say title, then I can tell you what I need. So by the time you come into my office, you're well prepared to get your title. Remember the numbers to call are 9224 and the text line is 3873183. This is Land Solution.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the
What
high
are the
quality
numbers?
concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation,
What
and
are the
road
numbers?
servicing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3 o'clock.
Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play with its development. That's a morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie, right here on
So
Power
the calling
106
lines
FM.
would be what then? 2, 3, and 5? Okay. You're listening to a special Tuesday edition of Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. The numbers to call 876-922-4112, 4113, and 4115. That's 876-922-4112, 4113, and 4115. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. There's also an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of turning up. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, we remind you that the Ocho Rios office on a Thursday between 10 and 1 will accommodate clients. So a lawyer will be on duty every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Ocho Rios office. Once again, here's attorney at law, Gloria Brown. We have a caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I can hardly hear you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Let me congratulate you on the program.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes you listen to the program and say, boy, it has nothing to do with me, but when you listen to it, it has a lot to do with other people.
Yes, indeed.
That's something. I have a long time problem that I've given up on with JPS when they were government owned. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. Where can you find out the caveat that they have on your property? Where can you find a copy of it?
At the title's office.
Oh, so they have to do a search for it?
No, yes, but it shouldn't be hard to find because they have the caveat number. And most of those things are scanned. So you just go in, give them the caveat number and they...
No, I don't have any details.
The caveat would be on your title. The number would be on your title.
No, it's a what you call it? It's a deed from 1835 thereabout.
Yeah, but if it's a caveat, it must be on the title. So tell me how you know there's a caveat.
Because when they were installing their thing, you know, that they were government and they were very bullish.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, they were very, very, very bullish, and they were telling you that you just take what we give you, you know, or get nothing.
Yes. The same like the situation with the roads now.
Yes.
But if it's a caveat is at the title's office, but have you ever looked at your title, your original title at the title's office?
No, it's a deed. It's a deed. It's long before titles were issued. It's a 18-something deed.
Okay.
Hello?
So it's not on your title at all?
No, the land. Well, I'm about to get a title for it, but sometimes I wonder if it makes sense, you know.
No, so aren't you living on the land?
No.
Okay, all
it's
right.
my grandparents.
Okay. Well, get this. Well, you can't lose. Get the title still. But that's the only place. But if you ask JPS, then don't they have a copy could give you?
Well, let me tell you something. They were very cooperative.
And it's one of those properties that the high tension wire is running over.
That's right.
Yes, I know what you mean. Those are, you can't fight City Hall when it comes to those. There's very little you can do about.
And they were government at the time.
Yes, there's very little you can do about that. No.
Yeah, but I would like to know what if I have any rights, you know, because they seem to behave as if they have all the rights, you know.
Well, they have had it for so long that they have an easement over it that you couldn't fight. No.
Come again?
They have an easement over it for so long that you could not win so easily. No.
Yeah, well, it's not going to change for any time soon.
Not at all.
Because it's a major line, you know.
Yes. Unlike that is going to change. They don't have any of the land that you can use still.
Yes, it's about what I should say. It's about 1/10 of the land.
Okay, all right. We have enough. So definitely go after your title, man. Don't say it's not no use.
Yeah, because I just want to know what are the conditions, because I know that they verbally they say you can't plant anything within 50 feet of the land.
Yes.
And they have access to.
They have access to go in and clear their lines and so on, but I don't see anybody pushing you about not planting. But of course, you're not going to plant big trees that will go and interfere with the line.
No, but I was thinking that when I do the new survey, I would just cut out that part and leave it to them.
But why can't you plant vegetable on that piece? I would not leave that part out.
Yeah, because you have to pay tax for the volume, you know.
Yeah, I prefer to get 2 titles more than leave it out. I would not give it up, because what happens when some years from now they decide that we're going to go to underground and we don't need wires? You know?
No, it's a major line that they have from.
I know them, man. They run through St. Catherine too and right down to, yes, I know them.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, when I had to compromise, because they were telling me that the person who gave them permission now would have to send them to prison, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to get it either.
That's just how they make us fight against one another, sir. So. You know?
Yes, all right. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, sir. You too.
Good.
Sure. Bye-bye. Interesting. And I got to...
We have another one for you, Miss Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes. Oh, can I help you?
Let me see if are you listening to me?
I'm hearing you well.
Okay, thanks, but I'm not anyway. What's an informal subdivision? Hello?
Yes, what are you saying about the informal subdivision?
Informal subdivision. When somebody come and say, as a gentleman a while ago, spoke about to pay the money to the ship. And then now, the owner decided to pay the money literally, and the owner eventually died. And some development to be made, like roads, to put in and things like that. Who is responsible?
What are you asking me?
Hello?
What is the question you're asking me?
All right. It's the unfinished subdivision. That road got fixed. Yeah, no electricity, no nothing at all, nothing. And everybody had piece of land. To work out.
People just told it little by little to different person, but no.
Oh, right.
But the subdivision was not approved.
Yeah, not approved, right?
All right. Okay. Is it? I have a bad feedback, Dervan. Is it an actual case, sir?
Can't hear you.
Is it an actual case? That's the question. Is it an actual case?
Yes. Okay. What parish is it, sir?
Manchester.
And person bought little piece. I'm going to ask you to Dervan, give the listener my number, please.
Sure, will do.
So we have a serious problem with the feedback.
Yes.
Please give me my number for me. Thank you, Dervan.
All right, thanks.
So the number to call 922-411-224, and the text line is 387-3183. So the text line 876-387-3183, and you can send me an email, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. Good afternoon. Read the NHJ applied years ago using a relative's point. The relative is a homeowner. I was told by the NHJ that I can't get the house unless I agree that the relative is on the title. Now it's a problem because I paid all the money on my house and the relatives also claiming ownership. Wow. That's what I was talking about earlier, but I'm not too clear. Why is it the relative was not qualified for a house but was on the title? I guess the relative was not qualified because they could not, their salary could not match up to buy a property. So sometimes persons don't qualify. For example, housing trust is selling some houses for example, 10 million. But you're only qualified for 5 million. So the housing trust might say you're not qualified for the loan, but that person could give you their 5 million to get a house. So the person was not qualified, but they could assist you to buy your house because both of you together could make you qualify. So you have a problem now, which is what I was saying. Now you have paid for the house and the relative is claiming ownership. So you'd have to discuss that with the relative, and I hope you don't have to end up in court. You might have to compensate them for the value of their whatever benefit they gave plus whatever interest has accrued over the years on that benefit in terms of the value of the property. So these are things to be careful about. As I said, if persons are going to use persons' benefit, get the lawyer to do what we call a declaration of trust to say, even though Gloria Brown and John Brown own this property, John Brown is really holding his share on trust for Gloria.
All right.
That's very, very important. Because we see the problems that happen afterwards. Persons don't pay $1, they give you their benefit that they weren't going to use sometimes, and now they are claiming a half of your property. And another thing as well, we need to use a bit more the tenants in common and the fraction. Because John Brown has given me his benefit of 5 million to buy a house and buy a house is valued 20 million. John and I should not be joint tenants or tenants in common in equal share. John's name must go on the title. It must say that John has a 1/4 and I have a 3/4. So we need to work with our attorneys as well. Attorneys need to work more with the clients in terms of fractions. My husband is putting up 90% of the money. I'm putting up 10%. There's nothing wrong in him getting 9/10 of the property and I'm getting 1/10. It can be reflected on the title as such. And we'll avoid a lot of the problems we're having now in terms of persons having not paid any of the mortgage, not having contributed significantly. But no, because they are on it with you as a tenant in common equally, or as a joint tenant, they are claiming half of the property. And then we end up in court, and we end up with a lot of the social problems we're having now, and the family problems, because things were not done properly in the first place. So you might have to get someone to negotiate with this relative to see how best to deal with this matter. The numbers to call 922-411-3-5. 922-411-2-4 because I'm on line 5. 922-411-2-4, and the text line is 387-3183. 387-3183. And I see the request from persons ask saying title, and I am responding immediately to those matters. So what I'm sending you is a form that I'll ask you to complete, a very simple one-page form. But the biggest problem I have when I ask persons to complete the form is that persons are not giving me a proper history. So I've given a sample of the history. The history should state John Brown owned the property, sold it to Mary Brown in 2013. Mary Brown died and Peter Brown took possession from 2013. Things like those. But I need dates and names. I don't want to hear Mama died. And I took it dates. We have to put in dates and names. John Brown owned it from 1960. John Brown died in the 70s. Son Peter Brown took it over. Peter sold it to Mary Smith in 2000. Things like those. This is Land Solutions.
The NWC Contact Center, serving you in so many ways. Call 888-225-5692 or 888-CALL NWC. The time by the NWC is
3:15. Want new wheels? Massive Auto Parts and Car Sales has your cars, car parts, and accessories. Visit 158 Main Street, Ocho Rios, Pineapple Place, or call 876-298-6413. In light of the coronavirus, Massive Auto Parts and Car Sales is asking drivers on the road to be careful.
I spoke with Paul. We're going to reschedule this for 4 o'clock, closer to 4.
Quality parts and cars at unbeatable prices.
Exporters, importers, all stakeholders. Get the facts on
He
Jamaica's
wants us to
Authorized
tell the
Economic
client.
Operator, or AEO program, at the Jamaica Customs Agency's CCC online forum. Click, connect, and converse with customs.
That's going to take
Thursday, June
place
30,
closer to 4
2022,
o'clock.
from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Jamaica's AEO program, facilitating a safer and more effective supply chain locally and globally. Log on for AEO requirements and benefits and clarify any misconceptions. So click, connect, and converse with customs. Thursday, June 30 at 10:30 a.m. Register at jacustoms.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Gen Zers, we're back. Gen Z returns with a new look, fresh faces, hot topics, and a whole new vibe. We're talking finance, dating, dancehall. You think it? We discuss it. You don't want to miss it. So join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. on Power 106 FM and 6:30 p.m. on TVJ. Gen Z, a show for the youths, by the youths.
It's the final segment of Land Solutions for today. It's a special Tuesday edition, and the lines are open. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4115. The text line and the WhatsApp number are one and the same for Land Solutions, 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up. The numbers to call, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. They have an office in Ocho Rios as well, Shop 6, upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call the numbers we gave you earlier on. However, if you wish to call the Ocho Rios office directly, that number is 876-974-6083, 876-974-6083. There's a lawyer who is always on duty as well on a Thursday. A lawyer is on duty every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company. Once again, Here's attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. The number is 492241112.
We have a caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
No. All right. Sorry. Hello? No. Sorry about that, Ms. Brown. We'll try and fix that and come back to you.
Thank you, Dervan. Okay. So the person who had called me earlier about the subdivision in Manchester. Some person might ask what is done. When you are cutting up land in Jamaica, you can't just see a piece of land, as I said on the program, till person it might ring like a song now. Land is not key that you buy a slice. So you see Mr. Brown with 100 acres of land, and you want to buy 1 acre of it. Mr. Brown has to get a surveyor in to survey the entire 100 acres and draw a plan. And the plan will show your 1 acre inside of this 100 acres. I'm not sure if I have a call, Dervan.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Ms. Brown.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, my mother died. My brother died. For me, that like, yes, ma'am.
I'm having a challenge in here. Your mother died and you'd like to get what?
My brother on the title.
Your name on the title. Did your mother make a will?
Oh, no, there is no will. My brother's name is on the title. If my mother died.
It's on the title with your mother. Do you know if your brother is joint on the title with your mother?
Yes, ma'am. What is like now? Is important. You think about how the difficulty?
Brother agreed to put you on?
No. We don't want to go on it. Well, like my brother put on
somebody on it?
Like my next brother.
Brother
a smaller one, a younger one.
Just listen to the question. The brother agreed to put on this one on it?
Ma'am?
The brother is agreeing to put him on?
Yes, ma'am, yes, but with the cost, we will work out it.
All right.
No problem.
All right. Wonderful. What parish is it?
Westmoreland.
All right. I'm going to ask you to give me a call after the program, and I'll ask you some questions. And then I'll give you an idea what it will cost. So the number you're going to call is 387-3183.
Okay, 387-3183.
Yeah, 387-3183.
Okay.
Call me after the program, I'll give you some guidance. And it's refreshing to hear about a family that, one brother is on it and agreeing for others, because most times that's not the case. And it is so sad. And that's how I started the program talking about the mother put one child on the title, the mother has no pass. But this is a reasonable child who probably realize that it will be unfair for him alone to benefit. So he has agreed to put another brother on it, a younger brother. And a lot of times they all live there. And I'm looking at this as well in terms of the subdivision I was just talking about. Because sometimes there are 4, 5, 6 houses in the yard. Mama gave everybody a house spot. And a lot of times, you can get this cut up without going through the formal subdivision stage. If you can show that you have been there for more than 7 years on your little piece. And just like the gentleman in Westmoreland who called earlier on about the subdivision in Manchester. Yes, if you have sold a piece of land to somebody for more than 12 years, for more than 6, 7 years, for more than 7 years, they could get a title for the piece that was sold to them, without going through the formal subdivision situation process. But the important thing is I would have to see the title, because the title says the land is not to be subdivided. We run into problems there. If it says the land is not to be subdivided, that's when we run into a problem. But if there's no condition on the title, nothing to prohibit subdivision, or there's no title for the land, and you have sold the piece for 7 years and people have their receipts to show, they can avoid the subdivision and apply for a waiver of it, which is easier and less expensive than the subdivision process. Much, much less expensive. Just that is taking a little while. So the gentleman from Manchester, if you give me a call after the program, I will discuss that with you a little bit more to see some of these persons in this informal subdivision can get their title without having to go through the subdivision process, because they have been living there for more than 7 years and they have evidence to show. And sometimes, and we will find most times as long as they are living there, we'll find the evidence, because there must be something to show. So, but I'm encouraging persons though, don't buy the thing, because as we say in Jamaica, we're gone by the morning, hard to come good at evening. So a lot of time persons are upset because they can't get the title right away, but they buy the things in a bad way. You see Mr. Brown, you see Mr. Brown sell me the piece of land there, and Mr. Brown sell it to you, and then you run into problems. You never got the subdivision. The title of the land is not to be cut up. Mr. Brown, who sold it to you, was not the owner because his father died and leave it, and him selling it, and he hasn't put his name on the father's title. So a lot of problems. A lot of problems, and it is still so shocking to see persons coming to me to say, Miss Brown, I want to get a title for a property. And when I ask what's the value of the house you have on it, 20 million, when you see a valuation, $25 million house and you have no documentation to show. And a lot of time these persons turn up in the office because the person they bought it from has died and the children say they want back the land and they have their $20 million house on it. And that's when problems start. And a lot of this is fueling a lot of the crime we have in the land problems because of the challenges where I'm saying to persons, sort it out. Don't leave the things. A lot of the older generation, I must blame a lot of us older persons. We are at fault. We are not leaving things tidy. We say, when we sort it out when me gone. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't leave problems for your children and conflict. Sort it out while you are alive, while the information is alive, while you are around to give the assistance that the younger generation needs. Because a lot of them don't have the knowledge that the older generation has, you know. A lot of them, a lot of the younger generation are very book-wise, but not street smart. Don't have the knowledge. Let the children know the boundaries. Let them know that the peg is right there under that coconut tree and the other peg under the guango tree. So they don't have to fight with Mr. Brown, to say Mr. Brown moving the peg or Mr. Brown coming over and taking over a piece of the land, because we have some pigs that constantly moving. Okay, they move at night, and even the Bible talks about that. And we want to encourage persons, know where your pigs are, and that's when you sit there, you and the neighbor going to have a problem, put up a wall. Agree on the boundary and put up a wall before problems start, and don't leave those boundary problems to your children. So what am I saying to my listeners today? I'm encouraging us. Be careful how we buy land. Try to sort out the title now, today. As I said to persons, if you want to get a title, just send me a simple WhatsApp message. All you have to say is title. That's all you have to say, title, and I will tell you what I want. Okay, I see somebody is sending me the very same message. Okay, about title. Just do that so I can help to sort out many of us, because we're able to sort out most of the titles, the situations. Even when they seem complex, we're able to sort them out. But I'm encouraging you, don't leave it until it becomes a problem. Don't leave it until you go to pay the tax and realize somebody has paid it. Or you go to survey the land and somebody objects to the survey. Or you get a notice that somebody said the land you're on for 20 years, you need to leave. Sort out the things before problems. We are too complacent of people. We just sit down at ease in Zion because we said, as we said, you know, type is really a latent demand. You want it when you want it, and you want it yesterday when you want it, but you're there for 50 years and you have not wanted it. So I'm encouraging us, don't wait until you want it. Just deal with it now. Take your time. We'll work with you, we'll assist you. Don't say you don't have the money. Just survey it and come and let us help you. There are a lot of different ways to help you to get the title, but it's very, very important to have this piece of paper called a title. So I want to say thanks this afternoon to Dervan and to Adrian Reed and to all the persons who continue to support Land Solutions, and to all my Tuesday listeners today. Look forward to sharing again with you next week, Monday at 2:30 on Land Solutions. Have a good day.
The preceding segment of Land Solutions was brought to you by Supreme Real Estate, Main Street, Salem, Runaway Base, and Town.
Protecting Jamaica's borders from illicit imports and exports is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30.
Farmers, farm store owners, Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited has all the answers for your farming needs. Tune in every Wednesday during Farm Talk for the feature Farming Today, as we educate you on how to farm smarter. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, 2 East Ashenheim Road, Kingston. It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues, and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
It's the show that engages you with stimulating and intriguing discussions to spice up your night. It's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. on to midnight.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Where you may ask me a question, I may or may not answer.
Hear pertinent advice and share your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters. Get the answers you need for your burning questions. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
It don't look like she did love me to me. But still, there's and she pushed me out, so do this.
That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, keeping your company Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. till midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
This is Jamaica. This is my country. A son of this island, a daughter of this land. Fearless of fear, I stand in awe. Only love prevails, secured in God's hands. This is Jamaica, where joy cometh in the morn, surrounded by mystic waters, crashing upon the shores where only heroes are born. Only if you knew Jamaica as well as I do, then you would utter, I love you, Jamaica. God knows I do. This is Jamaica, a simple speck in the universe. Our hearts beat and pulse in every nation, but only second to the kingdom of God. We put Jamaica first. I am Jamaican, regardless of where you may find me. Black, green, and gold is the marrow in my bones. So if I die away from my island, I pray to God you'll take me home.
It is that time of the week once again when we focus on our special feature. This is Jamaica, which started out as a poem by Peter Gracie, and that evolved into a poetry scholarship competition created for students to explore poetry as an educational building block. And the hope is to inspire and motivate students to express themselves freely through poetry created by Peter Gracie. We've been featuring individuals from across the diaspora in in this feature, as part of this feature, hearing their stories and having them bring to bear on the discussions their own experience and expertise. And this week, we're very happy to have joining us public speaker, certified life and mindset coach, Mr. Wayne Dawson. Greetings, Wayne Dawson. How are you?
Greetings, Dervan. I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me this afternoon. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. Pleasure to have you joining us on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM during our This is Jamaica feature. First of all, let's hear your story in as succinct and as simple a way as you're able to convey and to tell that story. What's your story, Wayne Dawson?
Well, I'm a Jamaican son who was raised in an environment where my family, my parents, encouraged that we shouldn't, as children, be quiet. We always had a voice. And so we were always encouraged at the dining table to speak up and to speak the truth. And one of the things that I remember as I was going through school, I went to Arden, graduated, went to Woolmer's. One of the things that kept me up and had me even to college when I got here to the United States was the poem, "The heights of great men reach and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night." Are you familiar with that particular
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so I do know go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You go ahead, please.
I do know that for me, words are very, very potent, very important. In fact, most of the kids that we engage can tell you from start to finish the lyrics of most popular songs. They will be able to write on the spot their own lyrics and recite these lyrics. We know the importance of words. Words can destroy you. Words can sustain you. And words can elevate you as well. And so in terms of the work that I do right now, I've had over 20 years of experience working with youth development. And part of that was to help kids in terms of literacy, educating them in many forms, but making sure that folks who's unfortunately here in the United States, a lot of young African-American kids, black boys, were not reading at the grade level they should. And there was a direct correlation with that, we found, and those that later on had criminal offenses. And so it's very important to introduce, I think, the power of words in terms of literacy, in terms of education. And so, I've been an advocate for that for a long, long while. Now I work with males, black males, helping them to, as they age, to become sage and to start modeling the behavior for younger men, and also to help them move through, the difficult middle ages, as it were, and deal with crisis. So I've always been, very interested in looking at how do we raise a consciousness of a people. And, I'll tell you a little bit more as we talk about how I ran into Peter Gracie and the work that he is doing.
Well, let's go there. How did that engagement come about?
So Peter and I sit on several committees together and organizations together. And on one of the occasions when I found out that Peter was a poet, I invited him and two other poets here from this side of the diaspora to an evening of poetry, and just had them go through their poems. And, as it continued to develop a relationship, I discovered that Peter had taken this particular poem, this powerful poem that is now being used across the land, This is Jamaica, and created a scholarship around it. But here's what I've discovered through poetry. Poetry motivates kids at the early level to read. It helps to teach them. It helps to build vocab. It encourages creativity. Poetry can be used as well to improve cognition in terms of just the way kids will think along the way. It's also a portal for expressing emotions. A lot of folks write poetry as a way of dealing with their pain or even their joy. And it serves as inspiration. It can be used in celebration. We remember Miss Lou, how she used her poetry to celebrate the pride and joy of Jamaica and the language and the culture that's so uniquely ours. It's a form of storytelling. As African people, we're griots. We are accustomed to telling stories. You know, we always up on Brother Nancy, right? And it builds community. And I see where this particular scholarship with kids all across the island is building community and raising self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. And having said that, how do you feel about this poetry scholarship competition and what this could mean for even more students? Some have benefited already, but in terms of building this out in a way that it pulls in more children who become more aware and write their own poetry, recite their own poetry, etc., and what that can do for the individual student's self-esteem and other forms of personal development.
Well, one of the first things about this particular poem, it drives home nationalism. And that's important because part of the development of a child or a youth is the idea of sense of belonging. You know, you have to belong to something greater than yourself. And Peter mentions, not once but twice, he mentions God and prayer. And that's an important thing. I know Jamaica, you know, I don't mean being religious and being a zealot, but I mean having a sense of belonging to something greater than yourself, so that when you see others, you see the divinity in them and respect them. I think that would certainly help in terms of the way we treat each other. And this poem speaks to that, drives that home. I think the fact that, like affirmations, the fact that kids are reading this poetry and writing their own and writing poems based on sense of self, whatever that is, having a voice, allows them to deal with some of the mental health issues that oftentimes is suppressed and not allowed to come out. So I think it's an avenue for kids to hear themselves and be heard, and be helped and reached in many areas. I also believe that because it is helping to close the literacy divide, because a lot of kids who are not yet in there, but hopefully will be reading their poetry and writing their poetry, will get a chance to be mentored, helped, and touched by the teachers who are around them, who see where there are opportunities to help and foster their development.
And you've been deeply involved in so many areas, psychology, social work, education, and it's a lot of work across different areas. Is there one common thread that you have detected running through these various experiences, situations, sessions that you've been involved in across the U.S. and elsewhere?
Yes. I believe that when folks have a personal sense of value, when we are built on values, and the idea of educating a child is not just the parent's responsibility, nor is it just the teacher's responsibility. It's the community's responsibility. And the community is responsible for helping to develop value system. I hope we're gone out of the days, and not gone out of the days, when you can speak to somebody else's child in a loving, caring way to say, hey, that is not appropriate, or at least raise that consciousness. I think values are important. The sense of self and identity is important. Who am I? Defining that for yourself, and not allowing the media, not allowing celebrities, not allowing the DJs, not allowing the dance and the music to define that, but to start defining that for yourself. So I found that when kids have a strong sense of value, a strong sense of identity, there is more purpose in terms of how they move and how they live their lives.
Absolutely. And there's the matter of trauma, which we touched on at the start of today's program, because we had that tragedy in the parish of Clarendon. We'll come back to that point in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
exporters, importers, all stakeholders. Get the facts on Jamaica's Authorized Economic Operator or AEO program at the Jamaica Customs Agency's Triple C online forum. Click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30, 2022 from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Jamaica's AEO program, facilitating a safer and more effective supply chain locally and globally. Log on for AEO requirements and benefits and clarify any misconceptions. So click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30 at 10:30 a.m. Register at jacustoms.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Gen Zers, we're back. Gen Z returns with a new look, fresh faces, hot topics, and a whole new vibe. We're talking finance, dating, dancehall. You think it? We discuss it. You don't want to miss it. So join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. on Power 106 FM and 6:30 p.m. on TVJ. Gen Z, a show for the youths, by the youths.
Please don't let them hurt your children. We need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep us safe?
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on our very special feature. This is Jamaica during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. And our very special guest is public speaker, certified life and mindset coach, Mr. Wayne Dawson, as we continue to explore the importance of poetry in the classroom and the Peter Gracie This is Jamaica Poetry Scholarship Competition. But we're also using the opportunity to get the thoughts of this Jamaican, originally from right here on the rock, formerly of Arden and Wolmer's. We're trying to learn from his experience and expertise in broadening the scope of the discussion. So it's been a very sad day here in Jamaica today, Wayne Dawson, because we woke up this morning to news of the murders of a mother and her 4 children. The
That indeed.
Yes, 34-year-old mother, her 4 children, one 15, another 10, the other 5, and a 23-month-old child. And how do we guard our children? What happens? And this, I don't want to say too much because the information is still coming in terms of further details, and it's a family member is suspected to have committed this most heinous crime. How does one continue? I'm thinking of family members, for example, surviving family members. How do you go on after such a horrific tragedy? And what of the not just the adults, but in particular the children who, when they hear what happened or when news gets to them, how do we help them to cope with this kind of tragedy?
Yes, it's very sad, and my condolences goes out to all the loved ones.
Yes.
And what is happening, unfortunately, is that we're a people filled with trauma.
Yes.
Most of us have had something traumatic in our experience, but we almost normalize it. You go to bed hungry, and we call it poverty, but that speaks to trauma because it's normalized since a lot of people go to bed hungry.
Yes.
It speaks to trauma when you're walking down the street at 14 years old and a grown man of 35 comes at you and you're afraid to walk through that area going to school every morning. That's trauma. And we have to begin to address these issues. We have to speak to it. We have to recognize that mental health should not be a stigma that's negative, but it's a stigma. It's not a stigma. It's a cry out for help. And so when we start speaking that sort of truth and not being ashamed to ask for help and to directing our youngsters and ourselves for the help we need, seeking professional input into how we're feeling. When we move away from the idea, for example, I work with men particularly, that it's not, if a child cries, a young boy especially, you're acting like a sissy, you're going like a girl, you know, we have a cry for, brush off yourself. That is so archaic and cavemanish in terms of understanding there's no humanity in expressing that to people. The idea that we have to put this false sense of manhood and masculinity, you know, is something that we have to address as Jamaican men. You know, I'm as manly as the next man. I will step in and protect and provide for my family, but at the same time, if I feel pain, I must be able to express it and express it with people who I care about and who care about me without feeling endangered. We have to move away from these false narratives. And part of it in Jamaica, and I'm going to say this and probably get a huge knock from the folk that are listening, the music that we had, when I was in Jamaica, there were codes in terms of, you know, men, nothing wrong, right about crime, but even if a criminal came to your house to rob you because you were in the drug business, he wasn't going to rape your grandmother. There was a code. And so we've gotten to a place where there is no more respect and codes for ourselves and our community and the people in it. And this is partially portrayed in the kind of music that we allow and escape and celebrate. There's nothing to celebrate about an artist that talks about murder and crime and belittling women. There's nothing to celebrate about that. And so we have to move beyond that level and hold ourselves responsible and accountable and stop playing the game, you know? So it starts with what we allow ourselves to find as tolerable in terms of how we portray our culture. There's no award to be given for being tough and hardcore and bad man. That's something that's really, you know, I want to say maybe all these years of our colonial relationship and slave heritage have brought us to a place where we have been disempowered and impotent for so long against the slave master that finally, when we think we're free, we're beginning to flex ourselves, and we finally feel we have to show how bravado we are. But we need to move away from that and get back to the fundamental of loving and caring for each other, a neighborhood relationship. You know, that's what a neighborhood is, where people, your neighbors, come together and share in a common, I don't mean a garrison, but I mean a common belonging, as common movement, where there's collectivism, there's communalism, there's cooperation, there's collaboration. That is the kind of structure we have to re-engage our communities in Jamaica. And we have to hold politicians accountable. If you want my vote, what is your agenda to make sure that this is happening? And so we have to move away from those kinds of old isms where we vote for you because my family voted for you and the next family down the road voted for you. We have to realize that in instances where we're being played with, where we got to step out. So how do you talk to kids?
Yes.
By being sensitive, by having empathy, by understanding that if they are afraid, that you have to recognize and validate that fear. It's not shut up, go on, go do your job, go do your thing. It's let me hear you. What are you feeling? Where do you feel the pain? How can I help? And to find help when they cry for help. Because a lot of what you're seeing in terms of the anger, and by the way, a lot of the criminals that are on the street are also in pain. They're also victims of pain. They're also crying out for help.
They've
right?
also been traumatized, yes.
They've also been traumatized, right? And when people don't think that there's hope and a future, there's nothing to live for. So why not? So we have to give people, again, our folk, an opportunity to express themselves and to know that there's something above and beyond the day-to-day struggle.
Yes.
We have to open a way for folks to have hope. And by the way, again, one of the things is for us to recognize and acknowledge that life is bigger than us. There's something beyond us. We're not responsible for how we got here, and we can't count the day on how we leave. So then there's something, a creator, a divine force greater than us that decides that, and therefore we have to find a way of coming in some kind of peace and alignment with that spirit within us.
Yes, indeed. And as you mentioned as well, being able to express in terms of the children, it does make a difference when they're able to express themselves, their emotions in writing or in painting or some other form of sort of expressing what they're going through, what they're feeling, and it wouldn't hurt to apply that in terms of poetry, as we've been discussing as well. It is one of those ways that can be quite offer some kind of a healing or comfort, at least.
Well, this is how reggae came to life. You know, Bob Marley and the early pioneers of reggae music were expressing life, their pain, their struggles. And poetry and music, well, music is nothing more than poetry set in motion to sound, to music.
Yes.
So there were great poets back in those days too. They spoke of their pain and they talked about it in a way that was empowering. And so it's important that we allow today's youth to have that opportunity as well.
Yes. Indeed, we could go on all afternoon.
Yes, sir.
But in the interest of time, we're sure that This is Jamaica, the organization, will be able to call on you from time to time, and gladly, I'm sure you will accept. After all, this is Jamaica, and that's what we do in terms of supporting each other. We're proud of you. We've been reading up on you and seeing the tremendous work that you've been doing as well, and we look forward to having you engage us in discussion over time as we
My
share.
beloved brother Dervan,
Yes,
thank you.
it's been a pleasure.
To be with Power 106 and your family. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. And that wraps up this week's edition of This is Jamaica. And here's Peter Gracie to take us out in this segment.
This is Jamaica. This is my country. A son of this island, a daughter of this land. Fearless of fear, I stand in awe. Only love prevails, secured in God's hands. This is Jamaica, where joy cometh in the morn, surrounded by mystic waters, crashing upon the shores where only heroes are born. Only if you knew Jamaica as well as I do, then you would utter, I love you, Jamaica. God knows I do. This is Jamaica, a simple speck in the universe, Our hearts beat and pulse in every nation, but only second to the kingdom of God. We put Jamaica first. I am Jamaican, regardless of where you may find me. Black, green, and gold is the marrow in my bones. So if I die away from my island, I pray to God you'll take me home.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play with its development. That's a morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alvin McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM.
Unless
beaten black and blue, Jesus thought I'd take this.
Unless Abby took it up, I don't know. Between Abby and Chandel, because it has the contact information for the guest in this segment coming up.
Mr. Jesus, I don't understand why they took her mom and dad away.
I don't have anything, so I'm going to need it when you're finished.
I know that they don't mean to hit with wild and angry hands. Tell them just how big they are, I pray. Please don't let them hurt your children. They need love and shelter from the storm. Please don't let them hurt your children. Won't you keep us safe and warm?
Thanks.
Dear Mr. Jesus, he said that she may die. Oh, will help the doctor stop the pain.
Que ahora es en español, son las 4:02. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:02 de 现在 TDN 了4点02分. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. We always like to share with you that whenever we host this program or in all we do, we stand on 4 legs, we like to say, to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. And we are some of the most outstanding entrepreneurs in the world. Did you know that? Jamaica, we're up on the list of being some of the most entrepreneurial people in the world. And so we're not surprised that there is a new enterprise, and I say new because I'm learning about it for the first time this afternoon, a brand called Infini Gelato, and I believe the Italian pronunciation is gelato, Infini Gelato. And we're anxious to learn more about Infini Gelato, the home of Italian ice cream, freshly made, on location, right here in Jamaica. To tell us more, Shanae Allen, supervisor at Infini Gelato. Is that the pronunciation you're working with, or have you Jamaicanized the pronunciation? Good afternoon, Shanae Allen. Please tell us.
Good afternoon. You're correct. It's Shanae Allen. So I am the senior supervisor here at Infini Gelato, and yes, we're here to inform you of our product. and how we originally came about.
Well, let's get straight to the beginning. Whose idea was this? How did this enterprise get going?
Okay, so when Mrs. Reed, she is the mastermind behind all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she actually went away and studied, came back with this brilliant idea to open a gelato enterprise here in Jamaica to give everyone a taste of Italy.
Mm-hmm. And how this business of the ice cream being freshly made on location, you mean we can actually see the ice cream being created right before our very eyes?
No, actually, so it's made. It's not something that we actually showcase.
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is made and put and placed in the display area for the customers.
I see. And how has this brand separated itself from all other ice cream products around? What's the Infini Gelato difference?
Okay, so as you know, it's an Italian ice cream. It's made from natural ingredients and fruit, less fat, so it's smoother in texture and richer in taste. So it's a more healthier, more organic ice cream than any other ice cream.
Yes. And I noticed that you're operating from Shop 17 in the Sunshine Outlet Mall in Brayton Parkway. Is that your only location so far? First and only one so far?
No, this is not the first. We were originally opened in Spanish Town in August 2018.
Oh.
2016, sorry. In August 2016, yes. So we were under the name Infinite Gelato and Grill, as gelato wasn't our main focus, because we actually did some Italian cuisines as well.
Oh.
So in 2018, we moved over to Portmore with the name Infinite Gelato as Infinite Gelato. We are basically mostly focusing on the gelato. Yes, so we actually came to Portmore for a wider market to brand our product more.
I see. How has that been working out so far?
Actually, it has been working out very well. We have been getting a lot of good comments, good reviews. So it has been an excellent look on our business, and we have gotten, as I said before, we have gotten excellent comments. We have had customers stating that, wow, this is very excellent, and we have actually been very proud of ourselves, actually.
Very good. We're happy to hear that. And how is the outlet itself set up? Is it dine-in friendly?
Yes, it is. It is. We basically do dining and takeout.
So the space is so set up that we can, as a family, maybe have our ice cream on the inside, or is there some kind of a terrace on the outside? What is the setting like for those who have never been?
It's an indoor setting.
Oh, I see.
So you can bring the family. It's kids friendly, and we do offer a lot of packages. All you have to do is just contact us.
Packages, meaning what? In terms of
birthday packages.
Oh.
Yes.
So if I'm having a birthday party for a child, for example, or an adult, what, we can have the party there, or we have you bring the ice cream to us?
Sure, we offer that service. Yes.
Very good. And what can you tell us about the general operating hours of Infini Gelato at Shop 17 Sunshine Outlet Mall in Brayton Parkway, Portmore?
Okay, so the hours there at Infinite Gelato is from 12 in the afternoon to 12 a.m. Then that's on the weekends, and from Monday to Thursday is 12 in the afternoon to 11 p.m. in the night.
Oh, you go as late as that?
Yes, we go as late as 12.
Yeah. And how, let me see, I think I know the answer to this, but what's the biggest day I mean, which day would you say is is that day when your hands are full and you just can't have enough hands to sell ice cream.
It's definitely on a Sunday.
I knew it. It will have to be. That's a tradition in Jamaica, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Must have ice cream on a Sunday. Yeah. So clearly it is working out. We're happy for that. What about the flavors? What can you share with us perhaps some of your exotic flavors or names of your flavors and treats that that are part of the whole package?
Sure, no problem. So our signature one now, our signature gelato is Guinness.
Guinness.
Yes, Guinness gelato.
Does that necessarily mean it's for adults only?
Yes, adults only. Some flavors that we have here are adults only, like Guinness, the Dragon Stout, which we created, because yes, we create flavors here. Create new flavors. So the Dragon Stout, because Sunday was for Father's Day, we created the Dragon Stout flavor gelato.
How was that? How was Father's Day at Infini Gelato on Sunday?
It was actually it was an excellent turnout.
Yes. I can just imagine. All right, so you've told us about the stout, Dragon Stout, and the Guinness.
Yes, the
ice cream,
bread
pudding.
Yes. Salted caramel, salted peanut, pistachio, coffee, grape nut, vanilla. And that's the name of few. And then for the sorbets, because yes, we do cater for vegans. So we have passion lime, tamarind, pineapple rum, mango, pineapple, guava, sorrel, and Christmas. So it's a variety of flavors.
So I wonder if pineapple rum is the closest we'll get for some of us who are wedded to rum and raisin ice cream. Some of us who don't eat anything else but rum and raisin ice cream. You have anything for that kind of palate?
Sure. We have as I mentioned before, we have more other flavors, and the pineapple rum, yes, is an excellent service. The bread pudding goes well because that has rum in it. The coconut rum as well.
Yes.
Those are excellent choices.
Yes. What about other? I know you've mentioned the sorbet. What is that? I know it's French, SORBET, but in terms of what that means to people who are listening to us, who maybe they've had it but don't even know the name.
Okay, so the sorbet, the only difference between the sorbet and the gelato / ice cream is that those are fruit-based. Yes, so those are made from fruit. So if you're lactose intolerant, we do cater for you guys, which are the sorbets. Those are what we use.
Right.
So no milk.
So it's water, what they call water ice, or
it's
fruit.
More like you would make juice, you make juice and then you turn it in the machine, and then it becomes frozen.
Oh, I see. And that must be quite refreshing.
It is.
So what else do you have in store? You mentioned the pudding. You mentioned the
okay. We do other stuff like pastries, pizzas, gelato shakes.
Oh, pizzas as well.
Yes.
Nice. It sounds like quite a treat. It's the place that you would go if you need to have to treat yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
And sweet tooth and all. Infini Gelato is the place.
Right. And I'm sure your pizzas are not ordinary pizzas.
No, those are straight from Italy. Yes, everything made from scratch. Well, that's the good thing here. Everything is freshly made on location from scratch. No artificial flavoring, no flavorings basically. So whatever the name of the product is, that's what you get.
So you're getting the natural, real item.
Yes.
I see.
So like a coffee gelato, now you're getting the coffee, the actual coffee.
Got you. All right, so here's your opportunity to just salute the team at Infini Gelato, and also to say a big thank you to those who have been patronizing you so far, your customers.
Okay, so I would like to say a big thanks to all the customers who have been supporting us over the years. Don't think we do appreciate you. Some of you come from very far just to have a taste. We really do appreciate you and the frontline staff, please. I must recommend you for all the good work that you have been doing. And again, I appreciate you all.
Likewise, thank you so much, Shanae Allen, supervisor at Infini Gelato, the home of Italian ice cream freshly made. And you can experience a variety of unique flavors, delicious gourmet pizzas, bubble waffles, and you heard some of the others. It's at Shop 17 Sunshine Outlet Mall in Brayton Parkway in Portmore. And you can always call them at 876 893 1307, 876 893 1307. Infini Gelato, the home of Italian ice cream. Thank you very much.
Thank you, welcome.
Take care. Grazie, grazie.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Do you own land and need your title now? Come to Geoland Title Limited. We do first-time title application, land surveys included, estate matters, lost title application, add, remove names on your registered titles. Have no land documents? Come see us. We can help. We're in Kingston, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, St. Anne, Westmoreland, and St. James. Or see us online, geolandonline.com, or call 754-6436. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Geoland Title Limited, your land partners. Land title is our business.
Hopefully the phone is up and running today because we tried Saturday and didn't get her.
Tranquil breeze and palm trees. Our beautiful island, Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica. We miss the vibrancy of our tourism product, but hope is on the horizon. At Exim Bank, we know that SMEs in the tourism industry need support to keep this vision alive, to strengthen one of our country's strongest assets. Let us help you to build a better future for your business. Ask about our small and medium-sized tourism enterprise loan today. Borrow up to $25 million with interest rates as low as 4.5% and up to 7 years to repay. You can breathe easy. Enjoy your progress and continue contributing to Brand Jamaica. Exim Bank. By helping businesses, we save lives and livelihood.
Under the law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. We've been doing it for 50 years. That's right. The program is brought to you on Thursdays by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection. Under the law at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. Thursdays on Power 106 FM.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. This Wednesday, June 22, we'll focus on the different types of coughs and what they mean. Tune in and hear about post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, stroke, and our featured segment, Talk English Doctor. You're invited to call in with your health questions and concerns on 876-922-411-225 and send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. That's Powering Your Health, this Wednesday, June 22 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
As the number of road fatalities in Jamaica continues to climb at a troubling rate, Power 106 FM has strengthened its commitment to building greater awareness about proper road safety practices. Join both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Thursday, June 23 from 2 to 5 p.m. for another road safety broadcast, live from the Montego Bay Examination Depot. This broadcast is brought to you by the Island Traffic Authority and the Road Safety Unit. That's a live broadcast of both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm this Thursday, June 23, 2 to 5 p.m. from the Montego Bay Examination Depot, right here on Power 106 FM.
Jesus.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:18. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:18. Tiens, TDN-le. Well, the time just changed. 4:19. 19 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? Yes, young people, we know it's exam time now, but part of doing your homework is preparing for your exams. and continuing those preparations. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. And we know that it's end of year exams happening right across the school system now. End of year exams. And we still have students doing CSEC and CAPE exams as well. We hope you get the results that you work for. Nothing more, nothing less. And those of you who continue your preparations with more exams to come, remember, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. We've been telling you all month that June is Caribbean American Heritage Month. And in fact, this week is National Caribbean American Heritage Month. And this week is Caribbean American Legislative Week. Caribbean American Legislative Week. But first up, we want to get some background from futurist, sustainability engineer, social entrepreneur, storyteller, founder and president of the Institute of Caribbean Studies based in Washington, D.C., Dr. Claire Nelson, who knows all about how June came to be known as Caribbean American Heritage Month. Dr. Nelson, happy Caribbean American Legislative Week to you, and happy National Caribbean American Heritage Month.
Yes. How you doing?
I am fine, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm going to say, at 21 minutes past the hour of 5 o'clock over here, so you know. You never bother Fuse? You never habla en español? Yo voy a hablar en Jamaican.
Yeah. That's a good one. Thank you very much. It's been a rough day, but you've helped to lighten the load a bit.
Man, if we take my thing, make laugh as we say in Jamaica.
Indeed, taking teeth give a heartburn.
Yes.
Yes, but to the background, because look, people must know the history. How did this come about that we, in America, that you observe National Caribbean American Heritage Month and other observances like National Caribbean Cuisine Month and Caribbean American Legislative Week? Yes.
Well, I can say my story began back in 1999. We had our first legislative forum on the auspices of Congressman Donna Christensen from the Virgin Islands. She was our godmother that hosted us for that first event on Capitol Hill. And we had our first White House event in the Clinton White House also in November 1999. And out of that, a little boy said to me from the White House, the staffer where I worked with said, "Hey, how come you guys don't have a month like Hispanic Heritage Month?" And I said, "We'd love to have one. How do we do that?" So she said, "Well, the president can make it happen." So, of course, I believed her because she was in the White House. And I started to agitate around that. At the same time, unbeknownst to me, a group out of Washington, D.C., also led by a Jamaican, was trying to do the same thing with D.C. having Caribbean Heritage Month because the carnival was in June in D.C. Now, mind you, I was trying to get August to be Caribbean American Heritage Month because I thought, well, Jamaica independence and Marcus got a birthday and Trinidad independence is a perfect fit and nothing else happens in that month anyway. So she called me and said, "Hey, I'd like some help doing something in D.C. And I said, "Well, I'm already doing it in August." She said, No. Why don't you just move to work in June? Because, the carnival is already happening in June. And then I like to tell people, and I thought about it, and she said, and anyway, the fact that Jamaica should have the independence in that month isn't a good month to do it because they're going to see that big island thing and they upset the small island people. So we decided to move it to June, and ICS took the lead on the national agenda, and she kept on trying to get DC to move forward. And we caught the eye by launching the DC Caribbean Film Festival. My work caught the eye of our staffer, who was Caribbean American, Bahamian American, who was in Barbara office, Jamila Thompson. And Jamila and I sat down and crafted the language for the bill. And the rest is history. Barbara office was the champion, but Miss Thompson, Jamila Thompson, was the busy quote unquote on the hill trying to get her peers to get their bosses to sign it. And I was on the outside trying to convince the Caribbean people to call their congressperson and support it. And this is how 2005 it passed the House side, and then 2006 Chuck Schumer moved it to the Senate. It passed the Senate side on Valentine's Day, and then flurry of activity of planning events while trying to convince the Bush administration to sign it. We did after much ado about nothing, and I want to pick up at this time a Caribbean American who worked in the White House. He's a military guy, a Navy guy. He was in charge of the food security for the president. He came to America when he was 3, Tony Powell, and he said, "Hey, she's my sister. You got to treat her like she's my sister, man. You can't be talking to her like that." I'm Jamaican, man. I'm going to sound like you, but I'm Jamaican. And I'm in charge of the president. So you got to take care of my sister. So I had a Jamaican who was, nobody knew he was in there. He didn't sound Jamaican. Came to America when he was 3. And he kind of helped to run interference for me in the Bush White House. And the rest is history.
Yes, indeed, a rich history. So here we are. Here we are. What has before we come to Caribbean American Legislative Week, the Caribbean American Heritage Month is maybe in another week or so will be at an end. Yes. What has the month been like so far from your experience and your interactions with members of the Caribbean American community?
Well, different people, I mean, we start meeting normally in about March, and different people have their own outages around the country. We launched National Restaurant Week to try and pull us together in a new way, and also to create a national event that could be seen by the media. So that seems to be working. More restaurants are standing up, and we've picked up some press in certain states that wouldn't normally carry anything because food is a good, binder of people. We have brought on, our team in Massachusetts has brought on Rhode Island this year and Missouri. It's a new state, and again, around the food, especially people who have restaurants want to be involved. And people have restarted their festivals, so there have been festivals back on the street again. Charleston restarted their festival. Alabama restarted their festival. I think people in Nevada were doing a festival. And Boston had 3 festivals. Well, Massachusetts had 3 festivals, different cities, over the course of the last weekend. So people that normally do festivals, I don't do a festival in Washington, D.C. area, but people that normally do festivals have been doing festivals. People in Maryland that have a festival in June have had the Multicultural Festival in June. So it's been a restarting, if you will, and people have mixed feelings about it, but they're eager to get back on the road. And I am just plodding ahead with our things online because, unfortunately, normally we'll be on the Hill and going to the World Bank and IDB and the Patent Office and all these federal government agencies. It's really a rich event when it's in person because people get to harass these different agencies and go there and walk around and say, it's taxpayers' money and we work for us kind of thing. So it's a nice feeling to do that. And so we hope that by next year we can get back to the in-person meetings in Washington when people come to Washington and we go on the Hill and we go to the White House and do all of these things. So that's where we are. So we're still doing it virtual this year, but we've had a robust discussion today. We talked about education and the census numbers, and so we had a robust discussion today.
Why is that important, the census in America?
Oh, my God. The census is important because it's where the voting districts get apportioned, number one, and then major investments in terms of how the federal dollars are allotted across the states. The census numbers have decided that. When companies want to invest in supermarkets or housing or developments or real estate, they look at the census numbers and figures. So census is very important. And many of us who were part of the MOS movement became sort of census partners. ICS itself was a national profile part of the census since 2009. We're very active with the 2010 census, and we've kept our position as the interlocutor at the national level with the US census. And then the local people that our partners, they work at the local level with the census office that deals with their particular state or city. And it's been working for us. We don't have all the numbers as yet for this year. The numbers from 2020 were not released. What we talked about today was the numbers from 2019 annual survey.
Hold on. Tell us more about those numbers after the break, please. Our listeners, our guest, Dr. Claire Nelson. She's founder and president of the Institute of Caribbean Studies based in Washington, D.C., and largely responsible for the month of June in America being declared for some time now National Caribbean American Heritage Month. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:30.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Drink, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. This Wednesday, June 22, we'll focus on the different types of coughs and what they mean. Tune in and hear about post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, stroke, and our featured segment, Talk English Doctor. You're invited to call in with your health questions and concerns on 876-922-41125 and send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. That's Powering Your Health this Wednesday, June 22 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Que ahora es en español, son las 5:28, qu'elle a retire en français, les 5:28. 现在地点了5点差28分. 28 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. Our guest at this time, futurist, sustainability engineer, social entrepreneur, storyteller, founder and president of the Institute of Caribbean Studies based in Washington, D.C., and of course, she is Jamaican. Dr. Claire Nelson, you were giving us some insights as we were about to take the break with respect to the 2021, was it the 2021 numbers in the census?
The 2020 census has not.
Oh, 2020, yes.
Yeah, but they talked today about how do we access the 2019 annual survey numbers about, and so we asked to look at Jamaica. No surprise, we have around 300,000. This is what they have. Around 300,000 people in New York, 300,000 people in South Florida, and then the next state that seems to have a number of people would be at Georgia with 50-something. States like Maryland only have 30-something, so we don't even show up on the survey. We're too small.
And we're talking about, hold on, these figures you're sharing, 300,000 New York, 300,000 South Florida, about 50,000 Georgia. These are Jamaicans?
No, just Jamaicans, right? Based on how people respond. Remember now, people have to self-identify.
Mm-hmm.
So we asked the question, undercount, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're hoping is that the 2020.
Sorry, the quality of the line is dropping. I'm not sure what's happening there. What's causing that?
I'm hearing you.
Hearing you much better now. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So the census we're hoping will show numbers because Jamaicans add up to 1.1, about 1.18 million, if I'm correct, on what the numbers that they have. So that means that people wrote it in Jamaican, either Jamaican ancestry or origin in that question.
So that's 1.18 million in
Jamaicans in the whole country of America.
In America, got you. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, these are the ones who have publicly identified as Jamaicans.
Right. So it could be of ancestry or of birth because they don't make a distinction.
Got you.
At that level, right?
Yes.
So we don't know. I think it could be on the crop, but who knows? You know what I mean? We don't know what people, because you have to self-identify. Nobody tells you what to write on these forms. So who knows what is real? So, but that was still interesting to find that if America is 300-something million people, and we are 1 million, we're not, we're less than 0.01%, but we're still punching above our weight.
But of course, the vice president, is a Jamaican. I'm just saying.
Right. So she would obviously list two countries of origin on her census form, India and Jamaica, and she would list also mixed or biracial on her census form. So it's a very interesting place to find herself.
Mm-hmm.
We had education today. We talked about STEM education, very robust conversation, also about the policy for future of work, project-based learning, critical thinking, and how the diaspora can support teacher training to prepare our teachers for this 21st century world that we're going to be living in across the Caribbean region. Of course, we had speakers from Bahamas, Belize, Jamaica, talking about these things. We also did disability education. And then tomorrow we go into health, the critical conversation. We will have people from Jamaica join us talking about both telehealth and healthcare engineering systems management, which is a huge point of contention for me as an engineer. I worry about the condition of our hospital systems. We know we have a lot of good doctors, and doctors come down on mission from America, and we send down things that don't function because nobody knows how to fix them, and that doesn't make any sense. So we really want to work with willing partners on the ground. We're hoping that out of our conversation tomorrow will be birthed a new healthcare foundation that can really be civil society led, right, and work in partnership with the ministry, but civil society led so we don't get bogged down in the politics of the day. People need care, people need care. Our elders need care. Our mentally challenged people need care. And certainly, the people who have surgery, we need to make sure that our hospitals are trained, our medical engineers are trained. We can have universities that want to go into this business, partner with schools here to provide the training so our equipment can be kept up to date and run efficiently and effectively. And then Thursday, we go to prosperity, so that's energy, financial services, agriculture, the economy, and Friday, the big day for us is security. And everybody's getting excited about that because we're talking about the tough stuff. Safer cities, trafficking, and our ending session will be corruption and transparency. We really are going to be pushing that out in a major way as diaspora because we have had too many reports from our partners on the ground that they feel that this average man and woman in the street, whistleblower laws are not being respected. They're afraid to say anything. So you can't say, if you see something, say something, because the system does not protect those who do that. So we have to find a way to bring all the whistleblower integrity action kind of people.
But I thought we have, don't we have whistleblower legislation in Jamaica?
Right, but the question is for us, when we talk to people on the ground, are the justices trained? Are the lawyers trained? Is the system trained to really protect people? Having the law is one thing, but having the law function in an ecosystem to protect people is another thing. It's a very small society.
Understood.
So the systems have to be put in place. The protections, if something is closed, it is closed,
Yes.
because people's lives could be at stake. So we really want to support people like JAMP and National Integrity Action and those people, and the other islands that have variations of that, other watchdog human rights organizations, and we've been inviting them to come on Friday, and we're hoping that Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Feinstein will join us again on Friday to close out with a readout on what the governance issues, how they prepare to support governance issues to civil society. They haven't confirmed yet, but there's certainly interest in, even if she doesn't make it, they've indicated an interest in continuing the conversation with civil society beyond the summit. So we're very, very happy about that.
Excellent. Is there a space people can go to online or otherwise to follow the work?
Yes. They can go online. I think if they go to our website, which is very easy to remember, celebrate June. Is it .org.com? Can I remember now? I can't remember our website.
Celebrate
June.org.com, one of them.
Yes, you're correct. Celebrate. Well, there's also CaribbeanAmericanMonth.com.
Well, it points to that.
I know.
Easy to remember. So if they go on that site, they should be able to find the link, the registration link for the week, and just go ahead and register and join us. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, we thank you very much for the wealth of information you have shared with us and for your decades of service in the trenches, in service to Jamaica, the Caribbean, the USA, and I dare say the world. We're very proud of you, and we thank you for the work that you continue to do.
Yeah, thank you, Jano. I must say before I go that we had a special Juneteenth celebration on the 20th, and the issue of Rastafari came up very strongly.
Oh, really?
Yes, because we're talking about the decolonization and the way that Frederick Douglass was able to reference the West Indian uprisings in the American, abolitionist movement. So I'm saying to say we really want to ensure that we show and demonstrate the centuries of engagement of our peoples who have both been enslaved and our common history that we have to correct both on the domestic side here in America, right? That's why we focus on that on the Monday, and then how we as diaspora can do for the Caribbean what the Jews do for Israel. So that is what the ISIS are trying to do, to be advocates. And as taxpayers, ensure U.S. foreign policy does not negatively impact on the Caribbean region.
Excellent. Well done. Well done. Well done, as usual, Dr. Nelson. All the very best to you. Let's keep in touch. And perhaps we could talk again on Saturday morning if you're up to it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Looking forward.
Same here. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dr. Claire Nelson, futurist, sustainability engineer, social entrepreneur, storyteller, founder and president of the Institute of Caribbean Studies in Washington, D.C. Definitely one of the movers and shakers in D.C. and I dare say in all of the United States of America. She was instrumental in the month of June being declared in the United States of America, officially proclaimed Caribbean American Heritage Month, which is drawing to a close right now, the month of June. And while we're on the subject of outstanding Jamaicans, here's an update. Former DeKalb educator Grant Bryan, that's a lady we know very well, Elaine Grant Bryan, receives Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden administration, according to the story, which was shared with us by Lloyd Stretch Daly, who is related to Dr. Elaine Grant Bryan. They're cousins. And the story is Elaine Grant Bryan, honorary consul for Jamaica in Atlanta, has been selected as a recipient of the 2022 United States Presidential Gold Volunteer Service and Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joe Biden. Dr. Grant Bryan is Georgia's first Caribbean-born person to receive both awards, according to a news release citing U.S. Census data from the Caribbean associations and consulates in Georgia, Barbados, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas. Dr. Grant Bryan was lauded for performing more than 4,000 hours of volunteer work accomplished through her Elaine Bryan Foundation Microsoft Global Youth Program, as well as with the Consular Corps of Atlanta. Well done, Dr. Elaine Grant Bryan. Well done. There's more here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, after the final break for this afternoon.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
The Jamaica Gasoline Retailers Association is reminding all road users to develop safe driving practices, especially with the escalating carnage on our roads. Remember, no texting while or when crossing a busy thoroughfare. Don't drink and drive. Observe pedestrian crossings. Also remember that child safety is everybody's business. Avoid speeding and help save lives. Call 876-929-2998.
Supreme Real Estate, licensed real estate dealers, the experts in residential, commercial, industrial, hotels, and villa sales, rentals, and leases. Supreme Real Estate, Main Street, Salem, Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Call 876-973-5026 or 876-973-6142 and email supremerealestate@cwjamaica.com.
exporters, importers, all stakeholders. Get the facts on Jamaica's Authorized Economic Operator, or AEO program, at the Jamaica Customs Agency's CCC online forum. Click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30, 2022, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Jamaica's AEO program, facilitating a safer and more effective supply chain, locally and globally. Log on for AEO requirements and benefits and clarify any misconceptions. So click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30 at 10:30 a.m. Register at jacustoms.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Farmers, farm store owners, Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited has all the answers for your farming needs. Tune in every Wednesday during Farm Talk for the feature Farming Today, as we educate you on how to farm smarter. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, 2 East Ashenheim Road, Kingston. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. This Wednesday, June 22, we'll focus on the different types of coughs and what they mean. Tune in and hear about post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, stroke, and our featured segment, Talk English Doctor. You're invited to call in with your health questions and concerns on 876-922-41125 and send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. That's Powering Your Health, this Wednesday, June 22 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
As the number of road fatalities in Jamaica continues to climb at a troubling rate, Power 106 FM has strengthened its commitment to building greater awareness about proper road safety practices. Join both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Thursday, June 23 from 2 to 5 p.m. for another road safety broadcast, live from the Montego Bay Examination Depot. This broadcast is brought to you by the Island Traffic Authority and the Road Safety Unit. That's a live broadcast of both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm this Thursday, June 23, 2 to 5 p.m. from the Montego Bay Examination Depot, right here on Power 106 FM.
Multiple messages to be cleared. Que hora es en español? Son las 5:12. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:12. 现在几点了？5点加12分. 12 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Good afternoon, Audley Clark. Velta Wilson, hello to you too. Good afternoon. Sharon Richards says, Sir Malcolm, it's indeed a sad day in Jamaica. So sad. I just can't understand what's going on. My God, can't we just show love? Condolences to the entire family of the deceased. Olga Hollingshead says, Blessed Tuesday afternoon to you, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and all your diaspora listening audiences. This is such a sad, sad day in our beautiful island, Jamaica. The hearts of men are so cold and vicious. There are no words to describe what is going on in our country. A life lost cannot be replaced. Condolences and prayers to the family and friends who are affected by this tragedy. May the departed souls rest in eternal peace. Have a safe and blessed day. Olga Hollingshead, Olga Hollingshead in Florida. Faye Weller says, Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. To you too, Faye Weller. Anez Iona Campbell, good afternoon. Steve in Toronto, Canada, says, Some time ago, Ms. Brown, to check with the minister regarding changes in zoning from, where did the message go? Zoning from residential to commercial to see if the titles can be auto-updated with new zoning, not requiring landowners to go to court. Dervan, could you please ask Miss Brown the status of this request? We'll send your information to her, Steve. David Allen says, Hi, Mr. Malcolm. I heard the Minister of Local Government saying that he will clean up the island for the 60th independence anniversary. He also said that people who decided not to keep our streets clean should be punished and charged. Mr. Malcolm, can you tell me if the Minister of Local Government will be able to punish and charge the mentally challenged who use the city streets as their toilet and to scatter garbage all around? I wonder if you're thinking of the same individual we're thinking of, that man of unstable mental health in the vicinity of Flo on Halfway Tree Road, who sets about littering the place and lighting fires under the bus sheds that were meant for commuters. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your message. Cherry Henry, good day. She says, sad news about the mother and her 4 children. Lorna Fairweather sent a message as well. Asha Ash in London says, Hi, Dervan, just tuning in from London, England. Lorna Fairweather says, Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Such a sad day in Jamaica with the death of the mother and her children. My sincerest condolences to the family. Truth to Power says, Dervan, I thought you would have gone as part of Wholeness delegation to Rwanda to do Master of Ceremonies duties. No, Truth to Power, I was not invited. Dwight Williams says, Hello, Dervan. There is no sound for Power 106 FM on Jamaica radio website and on my Amazon Echo devices. Not sure what's happening there, Dwight. We'll check on it. Keith Sampson says, Dervan, I hear some of my fellow Jamaicans making a very dangerous argument, a very dangerous dichotomy. This argument goes as follows. There are good gangsters and bad gangsters, good killers and bad killers. Good gangsters and good killers murder young men, while bad gangsters and bad killers murder women and children. There is no such thing as a good gangster or a good thug. From your murder human being, you are a monster. From your murder a human being, you are evil. making this false dichotomy between good thugs and bad thugs, or good killers and bad killers, is dangerous and gives cover to some unsavory elements in the society who feel that as long as you only murder young men or old men, you are a good gangster. It is a false dichotomy, says Keats Sampson. Hugh Dinnell says, hi, Sir Dervan. Could you send me the ice cream place number? We did, Hugh Dinnell. Natalie Winter says, very beautiful laughter, Dervan. Keep it up. Just lovely. Hugh Dinnell says, thank you, sir. He got the number. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine says, the ice cream is worth trying from there, I believe. And Natalie Winter says, ice cream is worth having, especially chocolate flavors and cookies and cream. Add to that cheesecake. It's tasty. Well, take it easy on the sugar, Natalie Winter. Thank you very much for your messages. We also have, well, Steve telling us no sound on TuneIn. That's the app. Not sure why. Maybe we don't know. We'll check on it. Steve also says the authorities who should be taking care of mentally ill people on the streets should be charged for leaving them on the streets. Pamela Monroe says, good day, Mr. Dervan. My name is Pamela Monroe, a missionary and a retired early childhood professional. During the summer month of July, I'm offering reading sessions at a reasonable cost to students 6 to 9 and facilitate others with remedial lessons from 10 years upwards. Elder Murray gave me your number. Please inform me as to how I can advertise on the radio station. Thanks. You just did, Pamela Monroe. You just did. But if you need further information, go ahead. But the work that you're doing is yes, there's a small fee, but it's charity and it's needed. A lot of our children have fallen behind. Well, a lot of them were behind already, and with the pandemic, they are even more behind, and so they need all the help they can get to bring them forward. So if you can volunteer, for the most part, charging a minimal fee for remedial education, then by all means, we'll be happy to help you get the word out. Samantha in the UK says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Welcome back to the studio, listening from the UK. All the best, Samantha. Thank you, Samantha. James in East London says, good evening, Mr. Malcolm. Can you convey condolences to the family members of those killed, the 5 in New Road, Clarendon? It's really, really sad indeed. We have been conveying our condolences all afternoon. James in East London has also shared a story from The Observer in the UK. Faces in a London crowd. Museums appeal to identify Windrush arrivals. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, good afternoon, Dervan. Jamaica is in a lot of trouble. Or maybe I should say we Jamaicans, when someone sacrificed their life and tried to accumulate as much evidence one could get, only to hear you didn't dot the I's and cross the T's. Think some of the people who are in leadership position are living in a bubble. In my opinion, they say we must use technology, and even when you use technology, they say it's not good enough. Can you imagine fish go a river bottom and shark down there, and better yet, you catch the shark and say, see the shark, yeah, and other people around say yes, as is the shark that? Then you hear you should have taken pictures of the shark, so we can't use that. Better yet, the shark even speak and say, I'm not a shark. I never been a shark in my life. Then you hear you may go, not enough evidence. Spider, whether you like it or not, it's called a justice system. That is how it works. If the system didn't function like that, can you imagine? You might very well have ended up in prison, Horace, otherwise known as Spider, on the basis of inadequate evidence. Remember, that's how it works. It's evidence. Remember, we always say on this program, the justice system is not about love. It's not about hate. It's not about good. It's not about bad. It's not about honesty, trust, truth, integrity. It perhaps isn't even about justice. It's about proving beyond a reasonable doubt that someone is innocent or otherwise. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And if you're going to get a conviction, if you want to get a conviction, you have to put together a very good case. You can't just bring something that on the face of it cannot stand up in court. It has to be able to stand up. It's just a fact of life. It's just a fact of life. When the system works, we say, yes, the system works. When it doesn't work, we say the system is a fraud and all kind of people mix up and didn't do this and that. You know what? We're out of time. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
news, comprehension, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Good afternoon. I am Dervan Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Tuesday, June 21, 2022. Investigators revealed that the killing of 4 children and their mother in Clarendon resulted from a domestic dispute. Gun attack in downtown Kingston leaves 2 men dead and the 3rd in serious condition in hospital. Regulations to govern state of emergency in St. Catherine tabled in House of Representatives. St. Catherine-based spiritual leader charged with sexual assault of a minor. In business news, Restaurants of Jamaica says a shortage of labor plaguing a number of its locations. The discussion segment of Beyond the Headlines with Earl Moxham comes up after this newscast. The news segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by Flow,
Rwanda.
building a better network every day.
She's a panelist in one of the discussions. Yeah. Earl Moxham. Well, I don't know if both of them, but who? Oh, really? Okay.
Now the details of the news. Jamaica 94 FM and online at RadioJamaica94FM.com.
True.
The killing of 4 children and their mother at their home in New Road at Chapelton in Clarendon this morning resulted from a domestic dispute. A suspect has been detained in connection with the case. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chan this afternoon told the House of Representatives that the individual is related to the family.
Involving what is, my understanding, is centered a domestic issue. The police have actually apprehended someone that they have in custody who is, in fact, distant family that's supposed to be involved.
Yeah, man.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chan. The bodies of the 5 family members have
Mix up.
and the throats slashed. They've been identified as 23-month-old Tishana Henry, 5-year-old Kafana Smith, 10-year-old Shamani Smith, 15-year-old Kimani Smith,